Okay, my name is Chasity.
Are you rolling on Zoom? Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay, still rolling.
Chasity Ladner Hall. Chasity Ladnier Hall. Hall.
Okay. Chastity, do I just start asking?
Sure.
Okay. So I've talked to you about, what we're looking for here. So why don't we just start with, can you tell us what it was like growing up on the island?
It was great. There was no place like it.
Hey Chastity, hold on just a second. And I'll probably do this a few times. Don't be aggravated with me. It's hard to get this without being coached a little bit. When she asked you a question, she said, how was it growing up on the island?
I'm not going to be on
great.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't hear, we'll only hear you. So we need you to say
growing up on the island.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then when you talk about it, I don't want to say, just tell us, what was it like?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, growing up on the island was great. We did everything. We went fishing and we swam all the time. We swam with sharks all the time. And we just did basically whatever we wanted to do. We had no limitations over here because there was hardly people over here.
How many people were on the island in those days?
Permanent people that lived on the island back then, it was maybe 600 or 700, maybe not even that many. There's a lot of vacationers. In the summertime, we knew what to expect, but there wasn't a whole lot of regular people that lived here all the time.
So you were born before Hurricane Frederick or after?
Before. I was born in 1975.
Okay, so you were born after the first bridge was built.
Yes, after the first bridge was built.
You were born. Okay.
Yeah.
So at that time, being one of the native islanders, did you hear stories around the dinner table or around the,
Yeah, we always heard stories. My grandfather always told stories, and
do you
my
remember
dad,
any of them?
we used to the turtle eggs. I remember eating turtle eggs. That was one of them, and just some about the cows that used to be on the west end. That's where they used to take the cows, and the goats being in the trees. Those were all gone by the time we came along. The farm animals that they had over here, we didn't have any of that over here when we were younger.
Was that because of the bridge and more vacationers coming
Yeah, I
in?
think it was because it was just more vacationers over here. I mean, there's still people who have livestock over here, but it's kind of, hidden. But but yeah, just about all the stories about all the farm animals and things being over here.
Okay.
And stuff.
How many people still, from your family, still live on the island?
My dad is on and off. My brother lives in my father's house.
Your dad is on and off the island.
My dad is on and off the island, and my brother lives in my father's house with his wife and children. I live in my grandfather's house with my husband and my children, and that's about it. Besides cousins, we have a lot of cousins that are still over here.
That was really good. Would you say that again, but started off maybe something like, as far as my family or something, just to give us a little bit of lead into that.
Okay.
But I liked how you were talking about your brother lives in your dad's house. That's neat
Okay.
stuff.
All right. As far as my family that's still over here, my brother lives in my father's house with his wife and children, and I live in my grandfather's house with my husband and children. And then we have a lot of cousins that are over here, but my mom's passed away. She doesn't live over. She lives over here, but she's at the cemetery. She's at the cemetery. But my dad is kind of on and off the island, and so that's that. Just we have lots of cousins over here. So,
How old are your children?
my oldest is 11. My youngest is 6.
Okay, we need to interview your children.
Exactly.
Okay.
We do, because that was the age range.
That's exactly
When
it.
I first talked to Nikki, I was thinking her daughter was like 7. because that's the last time I saw her.
Yeah.
She's like, she's
She is
driving.
she is 16 going on 35.
But she's too old. I need someone younger. So we're gonna interview your kids.
Well, my kids haven't. We've only been back over here for 4 years. So my oldest has lived over here before, but this is my youngest. He was 2 when we moved back.
Why did you move off the island?
Well, my husband got moved for work. That's why we moved off the island.
Okay, but you're back now.
Yes, we're back permanently now.
Be-
We have a house now.
Well, that's awesome. And you'll be here till you join your mom in the cemetery.
Hopefully.
You'll live with your mom.
Yeah, I'll go live with my mom. I already have a spot picked out.
There you go. It's not that big of a cemetery.
No, that's why I have a spot picked out.
On top of her. I'm sorry. I am totally digressing here. Sorry. Okay. How did you feel coming back to the island? You grew up here. You moved off the island because of, jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you came back, was there this sense of you were home, or what was that like?
Well, when we first moved back to the island, it felt that way, which of course I moved back after my mom passed away, and it was, a little strange, but I was glad to get back, to be around people I know and to have the kids grow up over here and go to the Little Red Schoolhouse, and that was good. But then once we get down here, it's, it's a little different than what I remember it from, even from, 15 years ago.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
It's a lot more people from up north that move down, and they want to change things to way they come down here and they love it, but they want to change it to how their city was in their northern town, where they had all these rules and regulations. And even though they love the quaintness of the island, they want to change it to reflect what they've moved from.
Can you talk about some of those changes that have occurred?
Just the fact that, when we were younger, and my dad was, living over here when he was younger, he had a mentality that if he wanted to do something to his house, he just did it. Well, now you have to go through all these special channels, which I know is normal in normal places, but you have to get a permit to, install a fan in your living room. And my dad's like, we don't do that. That's not how we were raised. That's not what we do. And, but now you have to do it. So, but just all the rules and regulations about signs and what you can do, what you can't do, they don't want you to, do all these crazy things, and it's just, you can't go. You have to have a sticker to go on the beach. My family's from here. Why do I have to have a sticker to go on the beach? And it's just kind of strange.
What about some of the changes that have been made since you came back? Well, during your hiatus.
Changes as far as
the West End, right up behind you.
The
building.
Yeah, the houses, as far as changes goes, the houses and things, they are putting up, more houses on the West End, even though the other ones have disappeared because of hurricanes, and they just keep building in the same spots. And the sand by the pier is not there. The water by the pier is not there anymore. It's all sand, and they just keep throwing up houses on the West End. There is a verse in the Bible that talks about not building on sand. But, that's just
Do you remember that verse?
No, not really.
Me neither.
I can Google it.
But I wish you could.
I could Google it.
That would be a good one to have. Really? Can you Google it?
Yeah, I can
'Cause
Google
that would be a
I
cool
bet Mike
quote.
knows it.
You don't know it?
I
There
don't know.
is.
I don't really get
No,
it.
I know
promise.
there is, but my goodness, there's a whole bunch of verses
I
in there.
know.
Sounds like a proverb.
No, we're going to
She's doing
interview you too.
Well, that was one of the parables in the New Testament. Jesus said that. Just trying to think. It was about not building on sand, building on the rock.
Yeah.
He's not.
Bunch of scholarly folk out here.
A bunch of
Yeah, build your
religious
house
folk.
on the rock. It's a foolish man who builds his house on sand, I think is what it says.
Okay. You definitely have to say that. So when you quote that, Chastity, can you talk a little bit about how, when you were growing up, when your dad was growing up, you knew better. That was for the cows. That wasn't for building houses.
No, they never built houses on the West End.
Because they knew.
They never built houses here over on these canals and stuff until they built the bridge.
That's a
Right,
good one,
Nikki?
too.
Okay, Brad, right there.
Yep.
It says, do you want me to read it on here? Because I don't know it.
Yeah, first.
But everyone who hears these words of mine
Yeah,
and does
sure.
not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand.
Will you read it one more time?
I just let it go.
Jesus said,
Yeah. Well,
wasn't that Jesus?
Matthew
Matthew?
7:24.
Wasn't he quoting Jesus?
Yeah,
there?
I'm sure. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. Then the rain came and the streams rose and the winds blew and beat against the house and it fell down with a great crash.
Do that again.
On the West End.
On the West End.
You finish every sentence with on the West End. Wait, that's a drinking game.
Yeah,
Wrong
it
book.
can be.
Wait, but did you get that's a really cool thing to say. in
I got
this.
it. We'll probably have to do some
Repeat it.
magic to it. But,
Do you want her to repeat it one more time? You could use it as a voiceover.
well, yeah, I mean, that's what we'll do is
Yeah.
use it as voiceover.
Read it with more conviction.
Okay.
Preacher Chasity.
I am
I
seeing
am
your mic
so
mess.
not a religious person, but I have that all the time stuck in my head
Like,
when they talk about it. Okay. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash.
All right. You don't have to repeat all that.
Okay.
But if you could, in your description, reference that, and then we can fix it after. you know.
Okay. Okay. So just say that over.
Just say something like what you said before about, the Bible talks about building your house on the sand, and then we'll fix it.
Okay.
Or the houses built on the sand end up crashing.
Yeah. So ask me again so
So-
I can get back to my.
Okay, your train of thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So your dad and probably, well, by the time you came along, well, no, because you were born in 1975.
Mhm.
So I guess you were pretty young before Frederick.
I was 4 when Frederick hit.
So really the development on the West End happened after Frederick for the most part.
There were houses during Frederick. There were houses on the West End, but there was not near as many as there are now. But that's after Frederick. It really picked up for some odd reason. They thought, well, let's go in and build these houses on this west end of this island where hurricane came through and took everything out, and we'll build some houses up on the sand. And but in the Bible it says, do not build your house on sand because it will crash and fall, basically. So
what's happened since then?
they just keep building. The sand disappears and they just keep building them back and back. And if you go into the water, there are pilings from previous houses in the water. And sometimes they're waist deep, sometimes they're higher than that. There's probably 3 layers of houses that are gone, from there, but they just keep doing it.
What do you think about that?
I particularly don't like it. I think it's foolish for them to do. I would never build it. I mean, it's nice to stay in a house down there, don't get me wrong. It's nice to wake up and to hear the waves and everything, but to own a house down there or to keep building a house and then go, what happened? What's wrong with my house? Or bring me some sand. They want people to give them sand. And they just, it's just really foolish, if you ask me.
How do you think that development practice is affecting the growth of the rest of the island?
I don't know. Ask
You
that.
answered
Can
it. You
can
said it before. That's why I answered the question.
Give us a minute and let's get through.
You want to go ahead and stop there?
And repetitive development.
Rolling? Okay. Oh.
How do you think this continued and repetitive development on the west end has affected the rest of the island?
Well, I know that they think that they bring in a lot of tax revenue, which in property tax they probably do, but they eat up more grant money, FEMA money, and everything else that anybody else does. They build $1 million berms, and they last one season. And it's ridiculous that it's just for those people to protect their houses, and then they continually want sand brought in to put under their houses because it's their sand and it's their beach. And it's a little irritating that as a native islander, if I go down to the beach and walk in front of somebody's house, they're going to call the cops on me because I'm on their property. And the water line has no owner. So, it's just really irritating. I would just like them to cut that end of the island off and call it Ono Island 2 and let them do their own thing.
I don't know if we can use that.
I know, but
that's okay.
That's my philosophy.
So given that,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the development that's occurred,
Yes.
Can you talk about some other things that have changed, like cutting down the trees or more stormwater runoff, things like that?
Well,
Is there more flooding?
the backup of the stormwater is horrendous. If you go to Circle K, you need a kayak after it's rained a lot. You need a kayak and a fishing pole. And at the four-way stop, or at the three-way stop rather, it backs up really bad there. And in front of the school, it backs up really bad. On the west end, it backs up really bad. It's like driving in a lake. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. They have tried to work on it, but it's just not seeming to be doing the job. And as far as cutting trees down, you get a big old ticket if you cut a tree down nowadays. They don't like that. Now they will allow you to cut trees down to build houses, but as far as just cutting a tree down just to cut it down, I can't even hardly trim my grapefruit trees because somebody's going to be watching me and tell on me that I trimmed a limb off the grapefruit trees, and that makes a big difference, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
Do me one quick favor.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying, they won't let you cut down a tree. Can you tell us who they are and won't let you cut down a
yeah,
tree?
the city will not allow you to cut down a tree. You have to have special permission from the city to cut down a tree, and it cannot be a pine tree unless you're building a house, and you have to go through all the proper channels for that. Okay. So, which I think is good because the trees hold the island together. I understand that. But if you have a dead tree in your yard and you need to cut it down, I don't understand why you have to go through. Or a pine tree that's leaning like this, you have to go through and get special permission, even if it's going to fall on your house when the next storm comes. And they don't like that. The city doesn't like that either. I am so getting kicked off Dolphin Island.
We'll blur your face out with one of those things.
Change
your
my
voice
and everything because
Give you a
everybody
robot
knows my
voice.
voice.
So, in spite of all of the rules and regulations, in spite of having to get permits for everything, in spite of all of the development that continues to occur on the west end that's taking away resources from the east end of the island, you still have said, we're here permanently, this is where my children are going to grow up.
Yes.
Why?
Well, because it is a small town, and it still has the small town feel. That's why we want to stay here. It's like any small town. You have drama, and everybody knows your business, and you can't walk out the door without somebody knowing that you did it. And but it's a small town, and this is what we grew up with. And even though it's extremely different, it's where my great-grandparents grew up, great-great-grandparents grew up. I mean, we go back 6 generations. So, there is a connection with the island, even if it's not the same as it was before.
Where is your house
awesome, by the way.
located?
My house is in the village.
And the village is, can you describe where that is in relation
It's
to
basically in
shoreline?
the center of the island. It's the oldest part of the island.
Sorry, I was.
That's okay.
Could you start off with the village is?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, that's. Hey, I told you. I'm listening for that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
It's not the way you normally talk.
Yeah.
So it's not you. It's us.
Okay. The village where my house is it's in the center part of the island. It's the oldest part of the island. That's where everybody lived back, 70, 80 years ago. That's where everybody lived at. 100 years ago, that's where everybody lived at because it was the smartest place to live. It's in the center of the island. Even though we did get water during Frederick and Katrina, it just makes better sense that's where everybody lived at. And we have, my grandfather built the house that I live in. It was his house. My daddy grew up in that house, and that's where we're at now.
Okay. So, did you ever hear about frigate birds growing up?
Frigate birds?
Yeah.
I'm
Also,
sure that's not what they called
Man
them.
of war.
Is it?
Frigate birds.
I know what a frigate bird is.
What are they?
Oh, it's the friggin' birds. Yeah, 'cause she calls them friggin' birds,
Well,
but they're
somebody,
She
I said,
knows all the technical
friggin'
names for
bird
junk
up there.
because she works here. But yeah, it's the friggin' birds. Yeah, the frigate birds. Yeah. Yes.
Sorry.
They ate all that stuff. Didn't they eat those too?
I don't know. I just know they got a wingspan of 6 feet.
Yeah.
No, actually, somebody said, I think it might have been Clinton, talked about how growing up, when they saw a frigate bird fly
Yeah.
over, that meant a storm was
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. I do remember that now that you say that.
Okay,
Yeah.
can you say that?
I don't remember that, so you can't ask me
No,
that.
when you said it, I was like, okay. But she says she has all kinds of stories too. But
No.
yes, you do.
I'm going to have you interview her. Go ahead.
She'll just laugh the whole time. The frigate birds, when they fly over the island, that means that more than likely a storm is coming. That's what the old wives' tale is about it. So,
So, the title of this film, I would like the title of this film to be The Flight of the Frigate Bird.
okay.
Because in the past, the frigate bird was like the canary in the coal mine.
Yeah,
It indicated
mhm.
that there was danger. But as it relates to this island, and now with all of this development, it's almost like the flight of the frigate bird isn't just indicating a storm; it's indicating the demise of the
Set real
island
quick.
and
Yeah.
its current.
Just wanted to get a new
What's going
reel.
to happen to this island if we don't change things, and what can we do to change it?
If we don't change things, the West End is not going to be the way it should be. I mean, I think the West End should be for people to enjoy, to come and go to the beach, for local people to be able to go to the beach. But if if they don't change some things and stop being, so strict with things, that they're going to lose the small town feel of the island, and it's just going to make it worse when storms do come. And we know that we're supposed to leave during storms, but some people don't want to leave because they want to stay with their houses and stuff. But I'm not one of those. We're gone. But it's not good every time the water comes in and goes back out. It kills the vegetation, and it's not good for the island. I mean, I don't know how we could stop it, but it seems like they could do something in the water that would be able to stop it, but they're just not doing what they need to be doing, I guess.
Okay.
How
Can
is
you
that?
think
Or
of
do you
any
want
other-
something else?
Well, you know what I find interesting about what you're saying is you don't like all the regulations, but
No.
there's more and more regulations,
Yeah.
in part in response in trying to keep the island sustainable.
The sustainability of the island is not what, to me, I don't get the feeling that that's what they care about. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think they really care about the sustainability of
You
the
don't
island.
think the city.
Hmm?
You don't think the city
Yeah, you're saying
or
that.
the town.
Of
rather.
the town. I don't think that the town cares about, or the city or people in general, I don't think they care about the sustainability. I think a lot of them do, but I think that some of it is just, money related, and it's just about getting, more money for the island, which is understandable. But as a local islander, a native islander, that's not, we see it differently. But there's so few of us left that, we're not in the majority anymore.
So I think what you're saying, and maybe if you could say this, is the town, the way they're managing the island, they have a very short-term view.
Yes.
They're not looking at the big picture, and they're not looking at it from a generational perspective.
I don't think that they're taking, the Native Islanders' perspective into it. They don't, honestly, I don't think they care about it, the town. I mean, the council, chamber of commerce, whatever, I don't think they, they're not looking at what the Native Islanders really want. It's all of their short-term ideas and short-term goals. That's pretty much. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
We're going to put Nikki on the hot spot now.
Put Nikki on the hot spot.
Okay. Me too.
My name is Carmen Nikki Barber. They always call me Carmen. I lied. See, I'm not
didn't
good
take long.
at this.
They call you
They
Nikki
call me Nikki.
or Nickel.
Okay.
Oh, did you look at it here? It's pretty nicely exposed, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, my name is Nikki Barber.
And we'll be able to bump any of
Let's
that.
forget the Carmen.
Okay.
You can throw me out of the loop.
Whatever
Nobody
you
knows
say is what we'll
Carmen.
do.
Just say Nikki.
Yeah. My name is Nikki Barber. NICKYBARBER.
And I am the daughter of.
And I'm the daughter of Wilton and Judy Barber. And
Granddaughter of.
granddaughter of James W. Barber, J.W. Barber. One of the first Islanders that was lived here for 90 years. He just recently passed away. And I lived with him for the last 13 years with my daughter that is 16, Madeline Barber.
All right, we're ready. If you want to keep that, you want to do that? Can you say all that again, like all at once?
I can try.
You don't have to do your name again, just the part about your family.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm stuffy. Oh, we want that for video or just audio? If we want for both, if you could tell Chasity.
Oh,
Yeah, you need to be looking at
Oh,
Chastity.
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
not me.
yeah, me.
You know what? I'm going to go sit over there just
Yeah,
Great.
just to give me, because you'll be
Yeah. All right, I'm still rolling. That shirt looks very nice on camera, by the way.
Gee, thanks.
You're going to get lucky tonight.
What?
Oh, you know what?
She is gonna get
Let me
like.
take these glasses.
More ways than one, huh?
There you go. Kind of video we're making here.
Ooh, now
Don't let me
she's
forget I got
brushing
your
it.
glasses.
I know.
That's good. Nice color in your cheeks.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Hold on, let me write that down. We'll talk about that later. So I should ask her, what is your family history on Dolphin Island?
I am the daughter of Wilton Barber and Judy Barber, and the granddaughter of James W. Barber. And I lived with him for the last 13 years here on the island. And I have a daughter that is 17, Madeline Barber.
How many of your relatives still live on Dolphin Island?
I have my brother that lives here, and my parents still live here.
Nikki, I know it's hard to try to.
Rolling.
So do I need to ask her again how many relatives still live on Dolphin Island?
If we can do that again.
Okay,
yeah.
how many of your relatives still live on Dolphin Island?
I have my parents still live here, and my brother still lives here, Terrell Barber, and I have several cousins that live here, and that's about all of them.
What is your earliest memory of living on the island?
My earliest memory of living on Dolphin Island is no clue.
Christmas
Very
at Grandma's.
stressed out. Y'all don't have a Xanax handy.
No, I meant to
No,
give
I'm
her
very
one beforehand.
stressed.
I should have brought beer.
I don't drink
Should
beer.
always bring beer.
Brown and Sprite.
Oh, Jesus.
What about?
You have no
well,
memories of growing up on Dolphin Island?
That's not the earliest memory. I was
I
going
was
to
going
say.
to say early. She kind of threw me off with the earliest memory.
Just give us some memories.
Or
Talk
maybe
about-
even a story that like you can remember your parents or grandparents telling you.
Or talk about us going down to the airport and going fishing at the end of the airport. We can't do that anymore either. Dang Homeland Security.
One of my earliest memories from Dolphin Island when I was growing up was going down to the West End, running over sand crabs. That was our highlight of the night because there wasn't much to do over here. Just here. I can't believe you just told that story. Well, it was. I mean, that's all our entertainment was. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Like some weird Pac-Man game.
It was our own kind of Pac-Man.
You better hurry up because I'm fixing to quit.
Okay, come on.
All right, what were some of the things you used to do as a child for fun?
I just said what I just did.
No, that was when we were 16, 15.
I remember going fishing with my dad several times, carrying a bucket while he was throwing the cast net all around the fort, the rocks. And yeah, he would throw the cast net in really deep water and I would be swimming, toting the bucket, trying to keep all the fish in it. And
Did he teach you how to make a cast net?
he tried to teach me how to make a cast net, but it's very hard. I don't have the strength in my fingers to do it or the patience. I can throw a cast net, but I cannot make one.
So I'm just going to
That's
ask you
okay.
some questions.
That's fine.
And then you
Yes,
feel free to
get
chime
this
in.
over
Okay.
with, but
Tell me
we
how
are.
I think it.
So having grown up on Dolphin Island,
Okay.
Yeah.
you now work for the Alabama Department of Marine Resources. How did that all come about? How did you end up there?
I've been working at the Conservation Department for almost 15 years now. I worked construction for a while, then I had a child, and then I decided I couldn't do shift work with my child. So I started out as a laborer here at the Conservation Department and been here ever since. And I get to go out sampling fish to make sure the next generations will have some to catch and eat.
Is it your dream job?
It turned out to be a dream job. Who wouldn't like to be on the boat every day and go fishing, go shrimping, go crabbing, just whatever, just being outside, outdoors.
Did you always live on Dolphin Island?
If I can interrupt for just a second, sorry. I know we're throwing a lot at you. Even if Roberta asks you a question though, if you can just tell it to Chastity, I know that's a little bit weird, but otherwise we've got your
Get
eyes.
over there next time.
Otherwise you just look shifty-eyed because you're just.
If I'm going to sit here,
I'm trying not to look at the camera. Huh? You got a camera in your face.
Yeah, it's not easy. I know.
Look at it.
Okay, we're still.
have you always lived on Dolphin Island?
I have lived on Dolphin Island the majority of the time. When I graduated from high school, I went and decided I'm going to do construction work and went on for a couple years. And coming back, that's all I did was take pictures of what I missed. It was when I was only gone maybe a year, and I've been back pretty much ever since.
And will you live here for the rest of your life? As far as you know.
As I plan on living here the rest of my life, but you never know what will happen.
So, you work for the Marine Resources Department. You have your dream job. Oh, I had a question I was going to ask you. Now I forget.
So I let that plane pass.
And she
while
wants
Yeah,
me
you
to
want to go ahead and
ask
stop there?
questions?
I'm
What year
rolling.
were you born?
I will.
Just
I was born in 1974.
so, how old were you when Hurricane Frederick hit?
I was 4.
Do you know if you stayed on the island?
We did not stay on the island. We moved. We went and stayed in Tillman's Corner at the Howard Johnson.
Can you say that again, all together? I was 4 when Hurricane Frederick hit.
I was 4 when Hurricane Frederick hit. We stayed in Mobile.
Okay, so you were. Now I'm losing it.
Do you remember eating
Another
spam
airplane.
sandwiches like every day for like 3
I
months
remember
afterwards?
getting spam
Yeah,
sandwich.
I can't eat spam to this day.
Okay, so
I don't remember much of when I was 4.
I remember that.
what types of stories has. I know your daddy is quite the storyteller.
Can we
Is
wait
there-
just a minute on that
Yeah.
plane?
I gotta get it. I'm just trying to think of.
Oh, you're just
Right,
talking out
jog my
loud.
memory
Prepper.
that she was supposed to do on an email like a long time ago.
I didn't know I was supposed to do it. I gave this all to Kelly. Help me out here.
I come here this morning looking for that email.
What you just said was the best thing you've said so far.
I know, because that's
You
all
can-
you getting.
If you can, or if you know, if the whole baby daddy thing is you don't
Yeah,
want
we're
that
not
in there,
talking
yeah, you know, if you could soften it up, like I had some family things going on, so I came back to the island, but then carry on with the things you said. It was really good.
But I think it was kind of cool that you had a 2-month-old.
No,
2 months
No, you're
pregnant.
pregnant. She was pregnant and she came home. This is home. This is home to her.
Yeah, but I mean, you could soften that up and just say I
Yeah.
had some family things, and
But
I
the
came
cool
home.
thing about being pregnant is it's the next generation who now lives here. Will she move?
Oh yeah. Talking about moving in August. Her senior year with her daddy. Yeah. I mean,
See
got
how
more
that-
family issues, of course.
We'll see how that goes.
I don't know, I'm ready to ship her. She's 17 now.
That's a whole nother conversation. I've got one of those. Okay, so you came back. You've raised your daughter here. Your daughter went to Dolphin Island School, correct?
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we should say no.
I
More
know.
relaxed
I
than
know.
we
Don't
were.
tell
I
her.
know, that's
He doesn't have it on.
okay.
So you came here because you loved the island. You came back. You're pregnant. You had your daughter, but you grew to love the island just as much as when you left the first time, and things start changing. Right? Did things start to change? When did things start to change on this island?
See, that's the problem that I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yes, I came back from family issues and come back home to my mom and dad because this is where home's at, and I knew I'd be taken care of, and living on the island was just really great. And then I noticed there were several changes going around the island, but I have no idea what the heck I'm talking about.
Okay. Well then, what?
Sorry, I just
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. You know what? Everybody talks about it. She talked about it changing. So what was it like for you living back here?
She's more easygoing than I am.
yeah, I'm just go with the flow.
I mean, did you like go down to the beach at sunset and just hang out and watch the sunset? Like, how did you spend your time when you came back and you had a small baby?
I worked all the time when I had a baby.
On the weekends? MRD, you were working on the weekends too, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Nikki, do me a favor and sit up. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Listen, you got a minute to think about it because
got a boat.
We got a boat now.
Yep.
I can hear those.
What changes have you seen at MRD over the years?
It's crazy. Told you.
I will get fired if I talk about it. Government sucks.
Yeah, there is that.
She'll get fired. I'll get
Raises are
kicked off.
nowhere to be seen.
Have you seen differences in populations of fish when you go out sampling?
Have I seen different populations of fish or
Yeah.
different?
Like, have you seen like more fish, less fish? Talk to us about your job and your fish.
No, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
I don't think they're supposed to.
I'll be getting fired.
Well, we'll show it to you. Just talk about it now, and then we'll use what we want to, and then we'll show it to you. We won't release anything without your final release. How about that?
No, I ain't doing that.
Okay. Well, let's see. What else
Even
can we
though
get her
I'm
to talk
quit,
about?
but-
I'm gonna stop there just so I'm rolling.
Where's your favorite place to go on the island?
My favorite place to go on the island is at the beach with my dog around sunset. It's just nice to be down there. It's peaceful and quiet.
What have you noticed about the changes in the beach in the last 10 years?
I noticed that there's a lot of lots in the water now because when I was younger, we would go to some friend's house and their house is like 3 lots in the water now, and it's just global warming, I guess, seems to be the problem. I mean, I don't know for sure, and it just seems like the water's getting higher and higher, or we're sinking, one or the other.
Can you say that again?
No.
What was-
I thought I started it right.
No, it's not right or wrong, just relax,
do
right, you
it,
buddies?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm really.
I like the part about either the water's rising or we're sinking. I mean, something's going on.
Yeah.
Well, Papa's always said that, yeah. I ain't never had this many roots in my yard. Because we're sinking. All right, start it over. I don't remember what I said. It might be different.
Where's your favorite place to go on the island?
My favorite place to go on the island is down at the beach with my dog at sunset.
Have you noticed any changes on the beach in the last 10 years?
I've noticed that a lot of changes on the island here recently, I guess, because of all the water being a lot higher. And back when I was younger, there was a lot of lots that I used to go see friends at in their house on the west end, and they're in the water now. And it's probably like 3 or 4 lots in the water.
Are there things on the island that you don't like? Like too many visitors, not enough things to do? Do you want it more commercialized like Gulf Shores?
All right, what was the first question? So I can answer it.
Is there anything
What
on that
don't
list
you like
What
on the
don't you
island?
like?
Things I don't like about Dolphin Island is there's not enough things for kids to do. I mean, my child, she always wants to go, because there's no entertainment, nothing to do on Dolphin Island that's, I guess, teenage friendly, even kid friendly. I mean, yeah, we had bumper cars at one time. It didn't last long. We had go-karts. And it's just, if you don't like going to the beach all day and all night, there's really not much to do.
Would you rather see the island change into Gulf Shores or Panama City Beach?
I would rather it not get so, I guess, out of control with a lot of tourists, but there needs to be something for some of that local kids to do. There's a lot of kids that live here year-round that need to have some kind of entertainment to keep them out of trouble.
How do you think that doing something like that would impact the older island residents that have moved down from up north for peace and quiet?
She kills me. She needs your job.
Is it a good question?
Yes.
Okay.
it is
I don't
good.
remember it. Repeat it.
Well, how do you think that the older island residents, the older people that moved down from up north, the snowbirds essentially, would feel about adding more things like Gulf Shores? How do you think they would feel about that for our kids to do? Would they complain about it?
I think they would be fine. Well, let's see how it started now before he gets on to me. I think bringing a lot more entertainment for the kids to do would be enjoyable for everybody. Especially the tourists would have something extra to do, and the people living down here as their vacation homes during the winter months, or some of the snowbirds and their kids and their grandkids. As they say, I think they would enjoy it also. So we'd have different views.
I have a question.
Okay.
When you're walking you grew up on this island. It wasn't as developed as it is now. And even though your kids, I got teenagers, you couldn't put enough stuff on Dolphin Island to keep them entertained, as Mike well knows. It doesn't matter. I mean, they have a skateboard park. They got.
Well, if you don't skateboard,
I
why
know,
go to a
I know.
skateboard park?
Well,
My child's not gonna skateboard.
Your
The
child's gonna go
tennis,
stand
she
there
plays
and
tennis,
check
but
it.
look at the court at the
Yeah.
country club. There's
So the
nowhere she can
focus,
go.
on the. Well, that's a good statement, though. So what you're saying is, so you have to say it now.
No.
Is the focus on developing this island is more for the snowbirds and less for the youth.
Or the locals even.
Yeah,
Not necessarily just the youth.
you have to say it. Please.
Do you think that anything that they're doing on the island to bring people down is for us, the locals, and the kids, or for snowbirds and tourists?
I think that things they're improving on the island are not to benefit the locals and the kids on the island. I think it's mainly just to benefit the tourists and the snowbirds that come down. just so they'll have something to do to entertain them. But our kids are lacking because they have to drive all the way to Mobile to do anything, even sports. So no sports, no athletics, nothing really to do on Dolphin Island.
Okay, now my question. So you grew up, it was like a little paradise down here. It was awesome. You came back, you raised Addison. She's
No, her daughter's name's Madeline.
Madeline. Why does that say
Because
Addison?
Addison is,
It's the little one
yeah.
that I was bringing with me.
Okay, Madeline. She loves to fish, doesn't she? She used to like
She
to
used
fish.
to, yeah.
She doesn't fish anymore? Okay, she'll get back to fishing someday. I'm
She
sure.
likes the offshore fish. She's bigger. She wants bigger fish. Daddy was more inshore, little fish.
Uh-huh. Okay. Do you ever walk your dog at sunset and think about everything that's going on Dolphin Island, and does it make you sad? Like, what do you think for the future of this place? In the peace of a sunset.
When I walk my dog in the evening, I think of different times that I think this island might not be here in the future for my next generations to come. And it's just because I think the global warming thing is getting higher and higher, and I don't see the town or the federal government doing anything about it to ensure that we'll still have an island here in several years to come.
That was good.
Is that good enough for you?
That
That's
was
nice.
really good. What else can we ask her to drive her crazy?
I know you're killing me.
She's gonna have a
Asking
double this time. One more time.
Let's see.
Labor.
Mess up your plan. Sorry, I was playing.
Oh, the sun is starting to hit her hair. It's starting to show some red. No, that's good.
Now it's in my eye.
That's good.
Oh, let's see. Yeah.
So when you're walking along the beach with your dog at sunset and
Do
you
want
look
that one,
into the
or
water,
Do you want one like my grandfather used to tell me, walking around the yard or whatever? He would wonder why we ain't never had stumps in the ground this
yeah,
much.
that's a good one
because
too.
He says we're sinking because they're pumping all the
Water.
gas out from underneath us, and I guess we're just sinking even further. And
I'm trying to think of if JW said anything about that in his interview. I'll have to go back and look. You are not leaving here, young lady, until you...
About the island sinking?
Yeah. No, about walking on the West End and either the water's rising
you should
or the
record
island's
that
sinking.
and had it good enough.
Just say it. Say it with conviction.
Bop, 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 bop.
Conviction. When I'm walking my dog on the island, when I'm walking my dog on the West End and I see that water coming up higher than it's ever been, something's going on.
I'll say that just like that.
He's on the phone. I can hear him.
I can hear you.
Hope it's not private.
Yeah.
We make the video.
Yeah, there you go. When I'm walking my dog on the island, I seem to be walking down at the West End where the new rocks are at, and it seems like the water's getting higher and higher, and I think there's something going on because we're sinking. I mean, that's good enough.
Either the water's rising
Gosh!
or the island's sinking.
Either the water's rising or the island is sinking. Just block that out.
That was good. We can work with that. We can work with that.
Cut it and paste it.
It was very defiant. It was nice. And that's only because you're getting angry at us.
Okay, do you have one last quote?
Oh my gosh, no.
Just one last quote. I know the gnats are getting
Look,
back.
in 2 hours you're going to be at the boats with the crab
And I'm gonna be
legs.
losing my butt off probably.
Oh no.
Xanax.
Yeah.
One last quote. Can you think of it?
I don't know nothing about a frigate bird.
What about your dad? Do you think about
There's
your
your quote.
dad?
You know
And
what?
how-
Before we do
Hell no! Did you not just hear me?
My boyfriend has 3 houses over here.
On the West End?
Nope. He considers other side of Salty Creek the West End. He can't stand them down there because it makes his insurance go up.
Okay.
There's something good there. If you can
No.
say it again. Just one more time.
What did I say?
The insurance thing.
I know, I was hoping she would throw that in there when she was talking about hers.
I didn't know. I'm supposed to say it. It's expensive.
But
Will you live here for the rest of your life?
I plan on living here the rest of my life, but not down at the West End because it's just don't make sense to build a house down there on the sand and keep the island government keep rebuilding the sand down there and making insurance prices go up all over the island. So,
What about water? Drinking water.
God, don't get me started on that either.
That's a touchy subject over here.
I don't like paying for liquid gold
Yeah.
because my water bill's over $100 every month.
Why do you think that is?
Can I, before we keep going, can I see that manila folder?
Yeah.
Why do you think
Oops,
that?
just-
I'm asking that
just
for a reason.
Just a second.
Because that $1 million process they got over there. There it is.
There it is. Although you're seeing me in the shadow, right?
No?
Does that look okay?
Looks good.
Okay.
Stay there now.
But part of the water issue here is about how much they're withdrawing and how much it's costing to continually rebuild the West End's infrastructure. That's what you're paying for. So it's like the East End is subsidizing the West End and not the other way around.
Oh, it's always like that.
It's the islanders subsidizing the tourists and the investors, even though they think it's the other way around. All right, now I'm getting philosophical. Can we be done?
That's what I'm thinking. Have a good
I thought we would get one more, but that's